All right, welcome guys. Hopefully you can hear us. Please let us know in the comments if you can. Aaron, you want to try your mic?
Yeah, testing. Let us know.
All right. Yep, they can hear us. We're already hearing that. Wonderful. Welcome guys to another live broadcast for the youth. We're really excited you guys can join us. And thank you guys for sending in your videos.
Yeah.
And we're going to watch. Now, this movie here is called The Extraordinary Fall. So we are going to check it out. Now,
So should we remind them what the premise of these ones was?
Yes.
I'm actually forgetting myself, so if you could remind me.
Okay. So this week's challenge was to do something extraordinary with a pair of pants.
Right, okay.
Yes. So very open-ended. We will see how extraordinary it is. And this is the first time Aaron and I are seeing this. So here it goes. Hopefully you guys can hear this as well. We'll just wait for the video to load. Here we go.
No. I need help. Help, somebody. Help. Anybody. Help. I can't hold on anymore. Can't.
Well done. I enjoyed that one. What did you think of it, Aaron?
Yeah, it was good. It was a nice creative way to try to, make a adventure out of a pair of pants, I guess.
Yes, yes.
Use them as a zip line.
Exactly. If that was real, like, is it okay for the camera person to just film it as they're yelling for help? Like, what are the ethics of that?
Yeah, definitely. You see a lot of videos like that. You're like, why did they film that? Why didn't they go help them?
Right? Exactly. And they're enjoyable videos, but
For sure.
yeah, I remember my brother Michael wanting to do something that was probably very foolish of him. And I remember telling him, I won't stop you, but let me get the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
And I told him I don't approve, but this has to be on film.
Yeah.
I don't know. A little bit of a gray area there. All right. And that is the only video that was sent. If anyone else sent it, please let me know in chat right away. Because as far as I know, that might have been the only one, unless there was a recent send to us.
So easy choice for the winner this week.
Easy choice.
It's going to be Caden.
And they're asking in the chat if we're going to do snacks. And the answer is no. Unless Aaron wants to do snacks, but it's all on him then.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have no snacks this week.
Yes.
And but we did, I believe we did make good on
Yeah.
our pizza order from last week.
I hand-delivered a pizza to a couple people who showed up at the doors.
And that's not to say everyone who shows up is ever going to get a pizza.
No.
You actually probably won't. But because we had, kind of implied that at the first, we held up our end of the bargain.
Exactly. So so I hand-delivered. They were frozen pizzas, I'd have to say. The delivery was a little late.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. So, yeah. And I've never been a pizza delivery guy. So
Perfect.
So it was a really good job experience. I
was
can add
gonna
this to
say,
my resume.
Be on your resume, new career
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah,
Perfect.
exactly. Okay, so we're going to play a few games. As you guys can see, who in the chat knows what this device is right here? I don't know how well you guys can see it. I'll show it to you guys. Can anyone let me know what that device is? Do you have one of these, Aaron, at your house?
I don't, no.
Okay. Do you
seen
have
them.
the smaller versions or any
No.
version or competition?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I've seen them in use. I know some people have them, but... Oh,
Okay.
here we go. We got
Yeah.
a couple answers.
Okay. I would say Google is a little too broad of an answer.
Yeah.
I don't believe Google can be contained into this whole building. And it is a Google Home, yes. Somebody said it was a Google Tap. I don't even know what that is.
New technology, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Another said Alexa, which is a similar product, but not
Yes.
this exact one.
Yes. In fact, we should find out. Hey, Google. Let's try this. Hey, Google. What do you think of Alexis?
Alexa has such a soothing voice. I like it.
All right, that's what Google thinks about the competition. These are the fun things that you can do. It's really handy with a lockdown. I can be entertained for hours. Like sometimes I feel like there's so many people in my house because I just asked it to switch characters, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Please impersonate so-and-so coming over. No, but we're going to play a few games. And the first game that I want to play with you guys is going to involve some chat. So I'm going to present a certain word. And what I want you guys to do is when you hear the word, the goal is to get Google to say that word. All right? The challenge is you must ask a question to Google that does not use that word. And hopefully, Google will say the word. Now, Google is sometimes quite smart about things, but sometimes it really misses your point. So this week I tried asking it to use the word watch. And so I'd asked it, how do humans tell time? And it talked about the sun, and it talked about it rising and setting and all this stuff, and it didn't mention clock. And so just a little warning for that. So we're going to be watching in chat, and we will be asking Google your various sentences, and we'll see the first person to successfully make Google say a certain word will get a point. So the first word that we are going to go with is giraffe. So feel free to type in a question.
I didn't understand.
Google's already trying to get your answer.
That's right. There's actually a way to get Google to not have to say the word, the G word,
Right.
And it will just automatically respond. But I thought that would be chaotic for tonight. And
Jumping in all the time, for sure.
Yes. And I also wiped its memory of voice recognition, so it'll answer to either of us.
Okay, nice. So
Yes.
we got our first one, actually, and our second now, too.
Go ahead and try it, Aaron. You'll just have to speak loudly for
So
it.
should I put my mic up there, too?
I can do that.
Okay. Okay, Google, what is the tallest animal?
Giraffe. On the website businessinsider.com, they say the giraffe is the tallest animal on Earth. Formerly known as Giraffa camelopardalis, the average giraffe stands 14 to 19 feet tall, according to National Geographic.
All right. I did not realize how educational tonight was going to be.
Very thorough answer, yes.
Yes.
You're welcome, all of you. We're
Yes.
pretty much giving you like a doctorate in giraffes.
That's right. All right. Well done for the rest of you, but we're going on kind of a first come, first serve in the chat.
Yeah.
Who was that you were reading from?
That was Caden.
Okay. Well done, Caden. The next word for Google is Christianity.
Okay, this one will be a little tougher, probably. I can already I'm thinking of a couple sentences, like, oh, you could do that, you could do that. So there's definitely some ways to do it,
Yeah.
but not quite as simple as giraffe.
No. And there will be varying degrees of difficulty, and so I'm expecting the difficult ones to take a few people's tries to actually get to give the right answer. So again, just a reminder, the word is Christianity. And we have the first one, and the first one, I will say this one to Google. Hey Google, what are Christ's followers called?
On the website Quora.com, they say, during the time of Jesus' ministry, his 12 close followers were called disciples, i.e. the 12 disciples of Jesus.
Okay, so we went the
All
disciple
right.
route.
Yeah, see how it sometimes just misses what might be obvious to you or me on how we would answer it? Because it's looking at Quora as the ultimate beacon of knowledge.
And I can see how it got there, right? It's like the people who directly followed Christ were the disciples, but it expanded beyond that pretty quickly.
Exactly. Aaron, do you want to read Caden's?
Yeah, you bet. Okay, Google, what is the most common religion?
I found 7 on Wikipedia. Major religious groups. Christianity, 31.2%. Islam.
Okay, just it could be a long list.
Yeah.
But yes, you guys got it. Christianity, most popular, and it was 30. How many percent did they say? About a third of the world.
Yeah, I was going to say about that. I didn't catch the exact number.
Yeah. Okay. Well done. The next word is Abraham Lincoln. We're going into some history here. I'm trying to provide a wide range of words, so you can tap into your knowledge about him to ask a question saying, "Who is this?" or something like that. I will tell you that all these words have been tested by me, and I believe there is a fairly simplistic question that could be asked, because there were some that seemed brutally hard. Like, some might be easier, about, to get Trudeau, you can ask who's the prime minister, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't provide a lot of those, but some of them I just found all these side answers that it was answering and not really getting to the word I wanted.
So the first one we have in the chat, it's going to kind of rely on the bias of the Google Home.
Yeah.
Here. So we'll see what it's going to come up with.
I don't know if it's allowed to be prejudiced like that. I'm not sure. Okay, go for it, Aaron.
All right. Okay, Google, who is the best American president?
Here's a summary from the website en.wikipedia.org. Abraham Lincoln is often considered the greatest president.
Wow, impressive.
Well done.
Nice.
That's impressive. I did not think that was going to work, actually.
No, I know, they do, think was a great president, but there was other pretty great presidents as well. So
Yeah.
I'm surprised that it got that right off the bat.
I would have even guessed, just for Google's funding, that they would always mention the current president.
Yeah.
I think that's how I would have programmed it, just a little plug, and maybe asking for a donation every time that happens,
Exactly.
right? But apparently not. Okay, well done on that one. The next one is, can you get it to say Bible? Another Christian-themed one here. See if you know any stats on it, or, how will that work? And it seems like the delay is not too bad today, so we're very happy for that. Okay, we have another one. Quick typer here. This one, I will ask, hey Google, what is the most sold book?
According to Wikipedia, having sold more than 500 million copies worldwide, Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling is the best.
Hey Google, cancel. Okay, so we're getting Harry Potter as the answer. So the rest of you in chat, I saw that once the first answer came in, no other answers have, but keep typing them, because in this case, you're now giving the first person a chance to have a second answer before you do. So just put out your own version of that sentence that potentially the first one will fail and you guys will get it.
Yeah, like Jonathan said, some of these, even though they seem like a simple question, like Bible,
Hey Google, cancel.
Google's responding back to us again.
There. I muted it.
But yeah, there's definitely some where it's like, it should have said it, but it's not going to, right?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. We got our next
Okay.
one.
Let's try this one. Hey Google, what is the most popular book worldwide?
On the website Quora.com, they say, the most read book in the world is the Bible.
There we go.
Nice.
So, and those sentences actually seem very similar.
Yeah.
And yet Google was being technical or reading from a different website, and so it switched it.
Yeah, the difference between the most sold and the most popular, and even I think.
And
Bible
Bibles
would
are often given
still-
away.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
does that count as a sell?
Yeah, it was sold to somebody, but maybe not to the person whose possession it's in. It's
Yeah.
tough, right? Like if they were looking at like the best sellers list, they probably wouldn't put the Bible on there.
Right.
But yet, I think most copies, if you're thinking of that, it's way
Yeah.
beyond anything.
Yeah, and I think they probably avoid putting it on the list just because it would always be on the top of the list.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then do you count English translations or only or whatever?
Yeah.
So yeah, well done, guys. And that was Rebecca. Got that one. Okay, here's the next word. Computer.
Okay.
Computer.
And this one is, because it's kind of becoming a word that's almost less used, because people would say laptop, people would say tablet, right?
Phone,
Your
yeah.
phone, right? A standard like computer is probably becoming less and less in our vocabulary.
Yeah.
So it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to create one that will work for this.
Right. I'm being told, Aaron, when you just talk to Google, if you want to bring your mic with you, just so that they can hear what you're saying to it.
Okay. sounds
Apparently, they're missing it. And I'm also being told, and it does sound slightly echoey, but nothing has changed in this room. Do you know any reason why that could be?
good. I don't think so. We changed the lighting, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, we got a couple, we got a few actually here. I think Rebecca was the first one. Aaron, do you want to take that one?
Okay. Okay, Google, what is another word for laptop?
On the website thesaurus.net, they say, portable, portables, notebook, notebooks, man portable.
Oh.
Rough. Go ahead and do the next. You can
Okay.
do all of these, Aaron, until we get an answer.
Okay, Google, what is a machine that you can program on?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Okay, Google, what is a machine that you can program on?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that.
All right,
Okay.
I guess it's an invalid question.
it doesn't like that
Doesn't
question.
count. Do we have any other ones? No, those are only two, right?
We got two at the bottom that are saying retracted.
Somebody retracted there. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Okay, Google, what does CPU stand for?
Central Processing Unit. On the website study.com, they say, CPU stands for Central Processing Unit.
All right, keep them coming.
It
We're
only
still looking
answered
for it.
specifically for CPU. All right, you can see how it's a simple word. It's very common.
Yeah.
And yet it's sometimes really difficult. You have to just come up with the right angle. And even though I found solutions for all these, I might have just had a certain mindset and approached it one way, and maybe that's the only way, or there might not be many options on how to get to do that. Okay, we got another one here.
Okay, Google, what machine has a keyboard?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that. Do you want to know what materials are used to make a keyboard?
I'll try it again. Okay, Google.
Sorry.
Okay, Google, what machine uses a keyboard?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that.
Hey, Google, cancel. All right, this is turning out to be a tough one. Aaron, let's give you a shot.
All right.
What do you want? Just say anything you think of.
Okay, Google, what is a Commodore 88?
Ooh, well done.
According to Wikipedia, the Holden Commodore is a mid-sized car that was produced by the Australian manufacturer Holden from 1986 to 1988.
It's also a computer.
It's also a computer, but it is.
It's a really old
It's
computer. Yeah, we had
yeah.
one when I was growing up, actually. I used to play, I can't even remember all the games like Ninja Turtles and stuff on it.
Right. I'll try my version, just updating it a little bit, because I don't believe there's a vehicle named this. Hey, Google, what is an iMac?
According to Wikipedia, iMac is a family of all-in-one Macintosh desktop computers designed and built by Apple.
We got it. We got the plural version. I was worried it was going right past
Yeah,
it.
I was going to say, it had a whole long spiel before it finally got to the
Yes.
computer.
Okay, we finally got it. I stole Aaron's idea for that one. Let's try one more of these. And here, let's see. Maybe we'll do two. We'll start off with an easy one. Get the Google Home to say water. I think this one would be easier.
I think
I'm
so.
hoping.
But also, it's hard to not use water in the sentences I'm thinking about. I'm like, okay, I want to be like,
Yes. Exactly. But I think there are other ways to say it
For
without
sure.
using the word. I'm hoping. Okay, we got our first one here with Aiden. Aaron, take that one away.
Okay, Google, what is H2O?
Here's the definition of H2O. Informal. Water, the chemical symbol, as used in texts.
Nice.
Well done. Okay, that was to Aiden, I believe.
If it was my line, the one that came
Yeah.
to mind was, what is the universal solvent? Because
Okay.
in school, they kind of referred to water as in
Yeah.
science class and stuff,
Yeah.
right? So,
With this one, I think I had asked it what most of the Earth's surface was covered in.
oh yeah.
And I got the answer that way. All right, let's do, here's the last one we're gonna do, and it might be a tricky one, but see if you can get Google to say Alexa, Siri, or Cortana, basically the competition
Right.
to this device. Can you
Without
make it,
referencing those names specifically.
without referencing, and you can go with any of them. I'm giving you all three,
Yeah.
just to generalize it, but get it to speak about any of those by name.
So they feel in the chat we're working Google too hard. We're
Oh.
asking a lot of it. It's
We
okay.
are.
It's okay. Google, it can handle it.
Yeah, I notice even if you get up like early in the morning, it's not even grumpy about the answers, and it's a real joy to have around the house.
I was going to say, it probably loves its job, especially the salary that it has. Multi-billion-dollar, you know.
That's right. Okay, they're going just real simple. So Caden says, "Hey Google, what is your competition?"
Here's a summary from the website infoentrepreneurs.org. Knowing who your competitors are and what they are offering can help you to make your products, services, and marketing stand out. You can use this knowledge to
Hey
create
Google,
marketing-
cancel. All right, that did not work. Let's take the next one. This is from Rebecca. Hey Google, who is your rival?
Apathy and misinformation are strong forces. I try to be strong.
Hey Google, cancel.
I like that it talked about itself, though. I try to be stronger than that. Like, it's got good morals.
That's right.
All right, keep them coming. Even if you've already put one in, put a second one in, because I think this one will be tough.
All right, here's another one. Hey Google, what are things like Google Home?
I'm a voice-activated speaker powered by the Google Assistant. Say, "Okay Google," to enjoy music, get answers from Google, manage your everyday tasks, and control smart devices around your home.
All right, and we have another one from Jessica. Hey Google, what is the information on iPhones?
On the website search mobilecomputing.techtarget.com, they say, the iPhone is a smartphone made by Apple that combines a computer, iPod, digital camera, and cellular phone into one device.
Hey Google, cancel. All right, this one's a toughie. We'll try another one here. Hey Google, what smart speaker does a phone use?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that. Do you want to know what a smart speaker device is?
I'm going to assume that this last one from Rebecca, is that word apples? Is that what it should be? Apple?
Or is it Acer, like the laptop?
Acer? Okay, could be. Yep, that would be Windows. Okay. Hey Google, what is Acer's AI named?
On the website thenextweb.com, they say, AI and 5G are currently the biggest buzzwords in the smartphone world, and now they're making their way into the laptop space.
All right, this is really tough. What would you do, Aaron?
Cancel Google.
Encourage hardware makers to build
Hey Google, cancel.
I forgot the Hey Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, they clarified it was Acer, which
was.
you
Okay.
think should make them say Cortana, right?
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
Didn't.
I
I was,
actually think Windows might be more specific,
Right.
because it's not, Acer is makes the physical product, but Cortana is not owned by them. So there may be a hint there. What would you go with?
this is a tricky one, actually.
Yeah.
Let's do one more from the chat, and then I'll try to come up with one.
Okay.
All right, here's the chat one. Hey Google, what is the information person on the iPhone voice named?
On the website time.com, they say millions of people have spoken with Apple's Siri, but until now...
Yay!
Nice.
Hey Google, cancel.
You want a little more context?
No. The beginning of that sentence, I thought we were off on a tandem.
Exactly, and then
And
they
all of a
came
sudden
around and
comes
Siri,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't understand.
And we're going to hit the mute button. That's my favorite feature.
Yeah, every time we were talking, and even if
Yeah.
we weren't asking questions, I could see it light up. It's thinking like, oh, they might be talking about me.
Yes. Rebecca was asking if we have a pet. I don't know what that had to do with anything, but I do not own a pet. Do you, Aaron?
No, I don't own a pet.
Okay.
But Maybe they seen like a mouse scurry across the table
Maybe.
or something. Yeah.
Maybe. All right. So the next game, guys, is going to be a visual one. So I'm going to be throwing up on the screen. Let me see if I can get this to work here. Just a sec. All right. So you should be able to hear us. All right. So the way this game works is it's called Guess That Sound. And I'm going to be playing you guys a series of sounds. They'll repeat for about 10 to 20 seconds, but it's often quite repetitive. So feel free to, we'll see who can guess what the sound is of first. So we will start off, there we go. And here's the first sound. All right. I'm not able to see the chat, Aaron, so if you can moderate it for this.
Yeah, so let us know. We have a bee, we have a bug, a bee,
Okay.
some flies.
Okay. The first answer was correct. There we go.
Okay, that was
It is a
Brianna.
bumblebee. Okay, Brianna, shout out to you. And I'm assuming Adeline is watching, so that's awesome. Here is the next sound. And I will look for a certain level of specificity with this one.
So
Not
we
just
have
a generic
a
answer.
couple of bell answers.
Yeah. And that would be correct, but I'm looking for...
Even more specific. Oh, here we go. Bike bell.
Oh, well guessed.
Nice. That was Jessica.
Okay, well done. I'm impressed. Yes, it was a bike bell. Actually, when I Googled bike bells, I found like this to me is kind of, it's not your classic, but it's similar, like in a round disc. But most of the images were of this new product. It's kind of like a ring that clasps around, and the trigger kind of does a quarter turn around the ring.
Oh.
Almost like those old phones that you would dial.
Right. Yeah, the rotary phones.
But it's when you twist it that it would ding.
Okay.
And it was just it seemed a little different, but most of the first couple pages of Google Images had that. So anyways, I don't know if any of you youth have that, but I had never seen one of those before. All right, here's the next sound.
And sorry, I was wrong. It was Rebecca who had that answer.
Okay. Here, we'll start the sound again.
All right, we got birds.
All right, we need to know the exact species. No,
Yeah.
no, we don't.
How many in the family?
Yeah. There's actually 4 kinds of species, if you could distinguish. No. So yes, a bunch of birds. I don't even know what kind of birds. It's just it was a sound that I found online.
And that one was Caden.
Caden, well done. Okay, I thought this picture looked like it could have been from Canada, at least.
Yeah.
Because when you look up birds, and you find the exotic, the beautiful birds, right?
Yeah,
the
exactly.
parrots and such. So.
And then you just get our plain birds in Canada.
Yeah, or you find images of single birds. It's actually very difficult to find an image like this.
Yeah.
All right, here's the next sound. It's on repeat.
All right, we got pop can of pop, can opening.
All right, pop can is right. Does anyone want to hazard a guess on the brand?
That sound.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess Pepsi by the sound.
Pepsi?
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we got Coca-Cola is the first one. Coke.
Okay.
Good. It's a safe guess,
People
right? It's
feel-
the most popular.
Very popular. Yeah.
Root beer we have a guess for.
Okay, interesting. And Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
And I think probably statistically, I would imagine this is the most sold pop in the world.
I would think
that be
so.
right?
Yeah. It's worldwide, and I think I would say it is the most popular.
Yeah. I remember when I was in Indonesia, kind of in the middle of nowhere, they knew about Coke because the world, no matter whether poor or rich, seems to have Coke at their disposal.
Yeah.
And they knew about Justin Bieber. I remember them asking me when I told them about Canada. I think that's the only thing they knew.
That's all they knew about Canada.
Yeah, so that's what made us famous. All right, here's the next sound.
This one's a little trickier.
It is. There's kind of a few sounds. It's telling more of a story.
guess, but, oh, here we go. Ice cubes in a glass, cleaning a table at a restaurant,
Okay.
iced coffee.
All right.
See, I was gonna go for the ice cubes. That tink kind of sounds like an ice cube, but then there's the other sound. So I'm thinking they're kind of breaking it out of the ice cube tray and putting it in. That's my guess.
Yeah, good.
Kind of makes
good
that
guess.
crunch sound when you twist it, and then you
Yeah.
get an ice cube.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Mixing a drink we have. Oh, perfect.
Okay, there's your answer. And it is ice cubes. Again, these pictures don't necessarily relate to the exact, scenario,
yeah.
but they're what I found to represent them. Well done. Okay, and we have another one here. This isn't a sound I've heard for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you haven't been to the Amazon to see a snake recently? Or?
That's right. Yeah. That would definitely not be the pet I would own.
Yeah. Okay, we got 2 answers in so far. We got sprinkler and steam engine.
Steam engine.
Yeah.
Interesting. It
It's
sounds a little fast for that, would you say?
and a little subdued. Like it's kind of a similar concept to a steam engine, but it's
And then it goes
usually
into
they're
this
a little-
hyperdrive mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rotating sprinkler we also got in.
Okay. Yeah. And I did specifically, I'm assuming, like they said with rotating sprinkler, I'm assuming it's that kind, not the, I don't know what they're called, the kind of
The kind that kids jump through in the summer, yeah.
yeah, back and forth.
Yeah, it's more the rotating type that makes that
Yeah.
clicking type sound.
Yeah, exactly. All right, another sound here.
And we need species on this one, right?
Yeah,
Exact.
yeah.
Like color and everything.
Absolutely. Color, yeah. I need to know male, female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Age.
Age, absolutely.
So we got frog, toad, frog or toad, green, male. Spring, it's spring, they say. 1 year old.
Ooh.
So very
Well,
close.
I'm going to say, based on the picture I chose, that it is. I don't accept the answer with frog or toad. I think you have to commit. But I'm going to go with frog, and it is an orangish brown frog on a green leaf, and it looks about, I would judge it at about a year, 3 months. What about you, Aaron?
Yeah,
What do you
maybe
think?
4 months.
Maybe
yeah.
4 months? Yeah. So, yeah, that is the toad. Here's another sound. Again, probably not a sound we've heard in a long time.
Yeah. See, off the first one,
Yeah.
I thought I knew what it was, but then there was that little doubt where it's like, well,
Yeah.
it could have been, but on the second one, then it's like, no, I know it for sure.
Very clear.
So we got thunder, thunderstorm, a storm.
Okay.
They also think that the picture you showed was a toad.
Oh, was it?
I think it was more of a
Let's
frog.
go back to this.
Toads have like the warts and they're
Yeah,
like thicker.
aren't they bumpy on the outside?
Yeah, and they're bigger, right? Toads
Yeah.
are, I think, like 3 to 4 times bigger than a frog, aren't they?
Yeah, and despite the picture, the file I downloaded said frog.
Oh.
And so they would know the best, because I actually couldn't tell the difference probably in sound. All right, so you guys got it right. It is thunder. Nobody said lightning, did they?
No.
Because they get docked minus 10 points if
One
anyone
said a
lightning.
storm, but no one said lightning.
Okay.
I was the one
storm,
thing with
maybe.
the first one.
Yeah.
It sounded like thunder to me, but then I was a little bit. I was like, well, maybe that could have been like when a plane hits like the speed of sound, and you get that
Oh,
like
yeah. Sonic
kinda-
boom.
Yeah, the sonic boom. I was
Right.
like, maybe it could have been that, but then you heard the next one because the first
Yeah.
one didn't roll like thunder normally does.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like a one shot.
Right. And a sonic boom does roll a little bit with the echoes, right?
A little bit more.
Just
yeah.
a bit, yeah. So it was thunder. Here is another sound. This one could probably be so many things, but I'm very specific on the answer.
I have a guess for this one, but we'll see what they say in the chat. We're also being asked to ask Google the difference between a toad and a frog.
Okay, let me just pause that sound and let's find out.
The mic's back on.
Okay, go ahead and ask the question, Aaron.
Okay, Google, what is the difference between a frog and a toad?
On the website woodlandtrust.org.uk, they say, frogs have long legs, longer than their head and body, which are made for hopping. Toads, on the other hand, have much shorter legs and prefer to crawl around rather than hop. Frogs have smooth, somewhat slimy skin.
Interesting that it mostly
didn't know the
went
first
on
answer.
about the legs.
Yeah.
I would think it would have talked about, the smooth
Skin.
skin, the bumpiness, the size, but mostly it focused
Yeah.
on legs.
Yeah, that is interesting. And I didn't even know that they had much of a difference. But I think of frogs as jumping.
Yeah,
I've never really.
that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a couple guesses here
Okay.
for our sound. We got kids
Yeah.
playing in a pool, a theme park,
Okay.
kids, a family gathering at the zoo.
Okay.
They're also
let's
saying
see
it was
the
very
answer.
educational to hear about the frog.
Yeah. Okay. And that first one seems to be
Nice.
right, that it was kids at a swimming pool. We'll just, now that you guys know what it is, see if you could listen and detect the water element in this instead of just kids playing. To me, I've heard that specific sound in a swimming pool.
Yeah, I was actually, when I first heard it, I was thinking more like a spray park because
Okay.
the water sounded really loud. So
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of pressurized. But
Right. It would depend where the
like if you were at the
cameras-
base of a water slide, you'd hear that sound for sure, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I picked a wave pool because I thought that would be a noisier
Yeah, for sure.
environment. Okay, here's another one.
We got birds as our first guess.
Okay.
Bugs. Bugs is a little
It's too
broad.
big.
Yeah. Go a little more specific for us. We got
Yeah.
crickets, grasshoppers.
Okay. Yeah, and I can reveal that it is cricket/grasshopper. Again, what would the distinction be? Do you know? I don't.
Oh, I should know this. I think it's a lot of it is size, but
Okay.
I don't know.
We have
for sure.
grasshoppers, right?
I believe so.
Or
I
do
think,
we just call them that?
No, like, okay, yeah. So if I'm thinking about it, I'm basing this off of Fear Factor. When I
Okay.
go and buy the things, they're crickets, and crickets are smaller, actually. But so I think we have
Okay.
grasshoppers because they're quite a bit larger. Like the crickets
Yeah.
are only like maybe a centimeter long. Like,
Okay.
but like in the field, you see like they're quite a bit bigger than that.
They can be big. Yeah.
So that's my guess, just based on buying crickets for Fear Factor.
Right.
Okay, so
Okay,
Caden
well,
is saying crickets are grasshoppers in a big group.
Really? We have to ask the all-knowing Google
I was
this
going to
question
say
here.
we have our at our disposal
Yes.
here. Yeah.
Okay. Hey Google, what's the difference between grasshoppers and crickets?
On the website immensoc.org, they say, the main difference between a grasshopper and a cricket is that crickets tend to have long antennae, grasshoppers have short antennae.
Interesting.
It's the antenna.
It's weird that that's the big difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I wouldn't know these things. All right. So we are going to. That's all I have for the sound effects. And now we're going to play the third and final game. This is going to again use Google Home and another device that has been kept secretly off screen.
Yeah, it's here, right under your noses, but you don't know.
Yes, exactly. And you will not find out until the game has started what we're talking about. So what we're going to do is, I just turned off the computer. My mistake. You guys should stay online, but I'm going to try to fix that. So here's the way the game works. The goal is to answer some trivia questions. Now you guys can use Google. You may know the answer off the top of your head, or maybe a family member knows the answer, and in that case, you can type in your answer even faster, and so that would be awesome. But when I ask these trivia questions, we will then ask Google if this is the correct answer, and Google will tell us if that is correct. So my first trivia question is...
So they can't see us yet, just so you know.
There we go.
On my feed, I'm seeing that. So
Okay,
you'll see
thank
us
you.
probably in a second here.
There we go. The computer turning off distracted me.
There we
Okay.
go. We're up again.
You guys can see us. All right, so here are a bunch of trivia questions. Now, I will be give you a couple guidelines because we will be asking Google if your answer is correct, and we will be saying it exactly the way you write it, okay? And so the answers will never contain the word the or a. Just in case it's a dog or dog, always say dog. Just ignore a dog or the dog. That way there's less ambiguity. So our first trivia question is, what is the technical term for hashtag? This is not something that I knew at all. Did you know the answer to this, Aaron?
Definitely didn't know it. So feel
Okay.
free to use Google to
Yeah.
find that out. But first one who can come up with that, and then we might have a surprise.
That's right. I'm hoping it works. Hopefully. Google just has these moods sometimes where
Yeah.
it doesn't know the answer to straightforward questions.
Oh, here we go. We got our first one.
Okay. And you are answering Octothorpe. Now, you guys can do some further research on this, but when I typed in Octothorpe, some places had an E at the end of the P, and other places didn't. And I don't know if it's two separate words,
Okay.
or if it's an American versus, I don't know, different spellings, or how that works, or if one is just typed a lot online, but wrong. So we're going to try this out. Hey, Google, is the answer Octothorpe? Let's see what happens. All right. So just so you guys know, Google has very big, fat, black limbs. And it has just raised its thumb. And we will tell it to lower its thumb. There we go. So this actually took me a little bit of setup, but you can have these devices connect to sockets, plugins, and things like that. And so I rigged this whole thing up so we're not hitting any buttons, just so you know. This is all happening live before your eyes and out of our control. All right. Here is the second trivia question. How long was the world's longest wedding veil? To the nearest 100 feet.
Oh, wow.
So, Aaron, I would like to know what you would hazard a guess for.
That's crazy. That's to the nearest 100
To the
feet.
nearest 100. Yes.
I'm going to guess 300 feet.
300 feet. Okay. What do people in the chat say? Now, I will say that when I looked this up, there were multiple answers, and I went to a reputable site, which happened to also be the biggest number.
Okay.
And so I'm fairly certain it was correct.
Our first answer is quite large.
Okay. Very, very massive. Hey, Google, is the answer 19,900?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that.
Okay, that is incorrect. Now, maybe you found something that is bigger or smaller, but as far as I could tell, this was from a Guinness World Record. So
I couldn't even imagine 300 feet, let alone 19,000,
yeah,
almost 20,000.
that's massive. Yeah,
I couldn't imagine what that cost.
no, and I will say it's less than that. Jessica has given an even bigger answer, but you're going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, we had guessed 22,800. So.
Okay, somebody is super, super specific, talking about and 11.73 inches with Rebecca. But from what I could find, and I will tell you my source just to help you guys out, it is the Guinness World Records. And it was for 2019, so unless it was just beaten this year,
It should still be the
it
record.
should be right. And I do trust that source instead of just hearing it on a Reddit feed or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Okay, they say look it up. They might be, and they might be right. I will just tell you guys the answer since, no, this 11,000 is the wrong answer. The answer is 7,000.
7,000.
7,000 feet. Yeah, it's a crazy, crazy amount.
Like, there's no building that's even fitting in, right?
No.
Like,
And I saw a picture, and it was this football field, and they just ran rows and rows
Yeah.
back and forth across the football field. It was a crazy, crazy photo.
and the weight of that, like, was she able to walk at the same time, dragging that?
I think it's totally impractical. It was
Yeah.
probably for the record. I don't even know if it was a wedding. But
In the chat, Aiden asked why. We don't know why.
We have
Only
no
for the
idea.
record. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah.
Because the cost of that, like,
oh, right? And it looked like actually a decent veil. Like it wasn't just, a row of plastic that somebody unraveled. It looked like a nice veil, and the whole length of it had a design to it. So it was impressive.
Because when I got married, I can still remember the cost of the veil because it shocked me even for a regular size veil. So I couldn't imagine what this one costs.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, it's just a piece of fabric.
Exactly. Yeah. Not even sure if I would spend the money to buy it to be in the world record. Like, is it worth that?
There's easier world records
There
to
are.
break. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, here is another quiz. And so no thumbs up from Google on that one.
Yeah.
Where did apple pie originate?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
The
What do you
common
think?
answer comes to my mind saying the United States.
Right.
That would be my guess, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's too easy.
Right. Yeah. And I can tell you that you would be wrong. So it is too easy.
Okay.
Yeah. It is something a little trickier than that. All right. Caden thinks he has an answer. Let's find out. Hey, Google, is the answer England?
Nice.
And Google raises its thumb. Well done. All right. Aaron, I'll get you to, I think we're on the third one or something like that. Go for it.
What country's national what country's national animal is the unicorn?
How would you do with this one, Aaron?
Oh, not that good. Countries to pick a unicorn is a strange one. So
It is, right?
Makes me think of I don't know, maybe like Japan because
Okay.
they like Hello Kitty and stuff so a lot.
Sure.
So that just kind of came to my mind, but I don't
Could
know.
be. Okay. We have our first answer. Let's check it out. Okay, and Caden answered, and right away Jessica answered right on his tail. So, hey Google, is the answer Scotland?
Nice.
There we go. It is. Well done. Thank you, Google, for that thumbs up. Now, you guys can't see it, but Google starts raising its thumb before it
Yeah.
actually appears on camera.
It actually has massive thumbs. Yeah.
It does. It does. Well, Google's such a huge company, it makes sense.
Exactly.
Right? You should see the size of its arm. I would have brought it, but we needed to be in the gym, and I didn't want to move all the equipment. So
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have had it. Go ahead, Aaron.
All right, next question. What does M&M stand for?
Yeah. I've often heard that what does A&W stand for?
Yeah.
Partly because we've done that for you youth with scavenger hunts. We've asked that question because that is a question that will lead you to have to go there maybe to ask a question. But this is a new one.
Yeah,
to me.
I don't think I would know at all what it means.
Yeah.
Same with you, like with the A&W. I've heard it before, especially like they advertise their coffee as like the Allen and Wright brand. So then you kind of know, but
Yeah. Somebody says of key points. I'm not sure what key points we're talking about.
so the M&M is like the candy brand that we're
Yes.
referencing. If
Correct.
that's what you're wondering.
Yes. M&M.
Which we actually had some of those last night. I made some homemade popcorn.
Oh,
We had
did
some
you?
M&Ms in it.
Okay.
It's good.
Okay.
On topic there. Good
Yeah.
snack.
I find that if I go to the movies or something, my wife likes the sweets. I like the salty, so
Yeah.
I'm going for the popcorn, and then I appease her with the candies that you get.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. So the first answer we have is from Rebecca, and let's find out what Google thinks. Hey Google, is the answer Mars and Murray?
Nice.
Well done. Good job. And a bunch of you guys got that.
Yeah, it was like a couple seconds apart. Three
Yeah.
of them, four of them actually came in.
I actually really like the feeling. Like it's kind of refreshing when it raises its thumbs.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yeah.
You guys out there can't experience the sensations.
Yeah, it's such a big thumb. It creates almost like a breeze, right?
It does. Yes. Yes. Okay. Go ahead, Aaron.
All right. What is a group of giraffes called? So we learned they were the tallest animal, if you didn't know that before. But now what's a group called?
Yeah. And I actually like the answer. I would never have guessed it, but I think it's cool that the answer is what it is.
Okay, I don't know this one. Like I've heard like
Okay.
what's a group of crows called, right? Because that's a very
Yeah.
unique one, a murder of crows.
Right.
But yeah.
Yes. Okay, we got 2 answers here. Caden was first on that one, so let's find out. Hey Google, is the answer tower?
Nice.
Well done, guys. Well done. Yeah, and it's kind of cool because it's a tall animal.
Yeah, it
makes
works.
sense,
It works together.
right? Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. How many Grammys did Elvis win?
And looking this up, Google sometimes puts an answer right away at the top.
Yeah.
Like just states this is the answer. It's not a website, just the answer. That answer differed from fan sites.
Okay.
And so I trusted the fan sites. And I read it from multiple fan sites. And so I'm actually not 100% sure. And I also wonder if, because Google's answer was bigger, could he win anything like that after his
After the
death?
fact.
Because I'm referring purely to while alive.
Yeah,
And I
it's-
don't know, is that possible?
I think it is possible because lots of times there'll be things they've recorded that they never released,
Yeah.
and then their family or their record company would release it after.
Okay.
Because I remember, I think it was Michael Jackson or somebody, and like it was like 10 or 5 years after the death, there was new music out, right? And so that would be how I would assume it would happen.
Yeah. Okay, let's try Jessica followed by Caden. Both answered the same way. Hey Google, is the answer 10?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that.
Okay, and Rebecca has a different answer. Hey Google, is the answer 14?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that.
All right, both are incorrect. Now I will tell you as a hint, 10 is the answer Google provides.
Okay.
And it could be right, because I don't know for sure. But, and I had told you that the real answer, I believe, is less. Okay, Rebecca has a different answer, very, very different. Let's try this one out. Hey Google, is the answer 3?
Wow.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, Google had a thumb
Oh.
malfunction.
Okay. Hey Google, can you do that again? Oh, I see what's wrong. This is a problem. It feels even better though.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Aaron, ask the next one. I'll see if I can repair Google.
All right. Need some stitches, Google. All right. What was the first soft drink in outer space? This is interesting because I, wasn't exactly sure that there even was a soft drink in outer space. But I guess I have seen, they have different liquids and stuff, so. Oh, also Jonathan gave credit to Rebecca, but it was Jessica who said 3 first. I think they came in like almost identical.
Okay.
All right, we got Coca-Cola as the guess, which kind of we determined before. It's a pretty safe guess, but it all depends on the astronaut. Because for me, that wouldn't be my go-to if I was bringing something to space. Got another Coca-Cola.
Okay. I think this might actually be proof of what smart people drink. If the astronauts are taking it up there.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the generation that that brought up that was in space shuttles. Okay, so you said it was Coca-Cola?
That
was
is
the
the
first
guess,
answer?
yeah.
All right. Hey Google, is the answer Coca-Cola? Let's see if Google's thumb works this time. Yay! It works again. Well done. Okay, go ahead.
All right, next question is, what is the name of the unit that measures the speed of a computer mouse?
Yeah, and this is kind of, I didn't look into it a lot, but it's actually like the movement across your screen, like not just clicks.
Okay, yeah.
But I believe it's somehow a combination, like just how fast in general does it respond and stuff. Yeah, and it actually has its own unit. So don't answer seconds. That would be wrong.
And I wonder how much this unit has changed from them switching to the laser mouse, because now like you'd never see an old like ball type
Right.
mouse.
Yes. That I don't know. And I don't know if it's the physical mouse or the mouse as represented on the screen. Okay, we got some answers. Let's see what it says. Hey Google, is the answer Mickey? Okay, Google raises his thumb. And I thought this was kind of cool because it's Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was the reason, but I enjoyed the
I think
answer.
somebody was a little clever when they came up with that one.
That's right.
All right. Henry Ford said that you could have a car painted any color so long as it was what color?
Yeah. So this is a quote from Henry Ford. And I don't know if you guys know a lot about him, but
Okay.
he invented cars en masse,
Yeah.
I believe.
I would have a guess at this one, but
Okay.
it's hard to say. Like nowadays, Ford's color is blue, but this was
Right.
not almost 100 years ago. I think the first,
Yeah.
or maybe it was now 100 years ago. Model T.
Yeah.
It was early 1900s for sure. I'm just not sure if it was
I don't remember.
before. It was, yeah, it would have been before 1920, right? So I think we're,
Yeah.
We'll
and
ask
I
Google
always
later.
think of a classic one as red, like a fire
Yeah.
engine red. That's what I
That's
think
true.
in my mind. But the question is that the quote?
Yeah.
So we have a few answers.
Got two different answers. Yeah.
Yes. Now, unfortunately, so we have automatic moderating, and unfortunately, sorry Rebecca, but I accidentally hit don't show your answer, but Google automatically flags certain answers, and it flags the word black, apparently. So I'll have to add it to our whitelist for next time. And let's try this one out. Hey Google, is the answer black? There we go. The answer is black. Yes. So it's kind of a funny comment that he made.
Yeah.
Any color as long as it's black. And I believe his idea was he kind of, I don't know, did he invent the assembly line? For sure for vehicles he did.
He definitely popularized it, if
Yeah.
not invented. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he would just have people repeating the same task, let's say putting spokes on tires or whatever, and then pass to the next person.
So he didn't want to change colors.
Yeah, and they always used the black brush and roller, or however they painted back then. And yeah,
It's more efficient. That's true.
absolutely, yes. But people have gotten spoiled as more, like probably back then, having a car was a big deal.
Yeah.
The color wasn't probably that important.
For sure.
But, okay, go ahead, Aaron.
All right. What national bird did 7 states choose?
And 7 is the most number of states that have agreed on a specific animal as their national animal, as far as I can tell. And the number was 7. And this is the United States, obviously.
All right, we got our first answer already, really quick.
Okay. Hey, Google, is the answer cardinal?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that.
Okay, we got a couple people saying cardinal, but Google seems to think you don't quite have it right. I will give a hint off. Okay, let's try this one. Hey, Google, is the answer robin?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that.
It is not a robin. Ooh, we got a bald eagle. Hey, Google, is the answer bald eagle?
Sorry, I didn't understand. But I found something similar. Do you want to know where do you find bald eagles?
I'd be curious where you do find them, according to Google. Okay.
That was going to be my guess, I'll have to say.
Okay, and I can tell you it's wrong, so I won't even bother.
I don't know the answer to that.
Hey, Google, is the answer northern cardinal? There we go. So on this
Nice.
one, I was being specific. I know you guys right off the bat said cardinal, but I don't know if there's a southern cardinal, but
But there's
they're
definitely
called-
a northern cardinal.
It's definitely called the northern cardinal. Yes.
All right. What Christmas song has had the most streams on Spotify in 24 hours? It would make me feel like it was a newer Christmas song. Oh,
And I specifically made it Christmas, right? That was the season?
right? Yeah.
Just because I could be overtaken, by some new song that comes out or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
And I'm assuming this is a song that you guys have heard of before.
Yeah, you would think if it's a Christmas song and it's been the most streamed in a 24-hour period, that it's pretty popular.
Yeah, and you will probably heard it in stores as you're walking around because they're always playing Christmas music. No guesses so far. Okay, we got our first one here. Hey Google, is the answer White Christmas?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that.
Okay.
Not White Christmas. Good guess. Very popular.
Second guess is in as well.
Hey Google, is the answer Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas?
I hope the spirit of giving lasts throughout the year.
All right, but the answer is no, despite what Google's saying. Hey Google, is the answer All I Want for Christmas?
Sorry, I don't understand.
All right, keep trying again. Hopefully somebody gets this in the chat. If not, I will give a hint. All right, Rebecca has modified her answer, and then we'll go with Caden's if it's wrong. Hey Google, is the answer All I Want for Christmas is You? And there's Google's thumb. Well done. All right. Rebecca was so close that first time.
Oh yeah, just one more.
That's not the full title of the song.
All right. According to the UN, how many countries are in Africa?
Yeah. This is the United Nations, as you guys probably know. And that means that there might be people who would differ with that.
Yeah, that made me feel like there's like some maybe like hostile takeover type things
Yeah,
happening where
yeah.
people are claiming that they have their own country.
Exactly. I would assume that the UN would be slow to modify that, like not just on a whim, but they'd have to recognize it and agree.
Yeah, for
so I'd imagine this is a fairly stable number compared to maybe the local territory swapping. Okay, Caden has his answer in. Jessica agrees with it. Hey Google, is the answer 54? All right, there's the thumbs up. Well done. Well done.
All right. Next question. How many carats in the world's largest cut diamond rounded to the nearest 10? It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because
What would you guess on this, Aaron?
There's some huge ones.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 620.
620? Okay.
And I'm not sure if that's, I know of like, they say like a couple carat one is a decent size. But
Right.
I'm
right.
thinking somebody out there has a massive diamond.
Yes, somebody does. And actually, I can't remember the name of the world's large diamond, but the world's largest and second largest are both owned, I believe, by the Crown.
Oh, okay.
As in Queen of England, Crown. So we have our first few answers. Hey Google, is the answer 545?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that.
Okay, that was wrong. We have Jessica's answer in. Hey Google, is the answer 3,110?
Nice.
There we go. Well done. That's a massive
Oh, yeah.
number. It's crazy. I believe Caden guessed the right answer later on, but he did not round it to the nearest 10, and he would not have gotten the answer correct. But that's just massive. I can't even, it's hard to imagine.
Oh, yeah. I'd
Yeah.
like to see a picture of it because, like, I'm assuming, I don't know, is that as big as a car? Like, I don't know.
Right. I'll actually throw up a picture here for you guys to see. So let me see. I'm just loading up Google Images, and I will show you just how big these diamonds can be. Okay, there you guys go.
Okay, so not
here's
as
some
big as a
pictures.
car, I was thinking.
No. Now I believe, yeah, so it's called Star of Africa. But some of these images don't, but there you see it in the person's hands. And that's That's huge.
That's massive for sure.
For a diamond, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't even know how heavy they are. Like, I think of diamonds as very light because they're so small, but
Yeah.
they might be actually quite heavy like a rock. I don't know. All right. There we go. Let's see. Okay, now you guys should be able to see me again.
All right, so we got 2 left here. What is a group of jellyfish called is our next question.
A group of jellyfish. What would you guess, Aaron?
A squad.
A squad, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's going to be my guess.
a squad. There's some really weird words for groups of animals.
I'm getting that. Yeah, I'd never heard like Tower of Giraffes. So
Yeah. Okay, we got a bunch of answers.
Oh,
Yes.
you know what? Now that people are putting it, I'm like, yes, I've heard that before.
Okay. Hey Google, is the answer bloom?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that. Do you want to know how many levels are in bloom in words?
No. Okay. Bloom is not the answer I'm looking for. Now, maybe there's a different site that would give different answers than the place I looked. Let's try this next one here. Hey, Google, is the answer swarm? Hey, Google, is the answer swarm?
Sorry, I don't have any information about that.
Okay, everyone is saying bloom or swarm, so maybe I went from a site that is wrong on this. Because they're
when
not
they
words
said
that I would
bloom,
know.
I was like, that sounds familiar.
It does, eh? Okay.
I don't know.
Interesting. And it's so hard for me to even verify that because, like, they could have said something other than tower for giraffes, and I'd have believed them.
Yeah, exactly.
How am I supposed to know these things? We got another one. Let's try this. Hey, Google, is the answer smack?
Nice.
That's the answer I was looking for, smack. So maybe it depends on your website, but yeah.
Okay. And we got our last question.
Okay.
What is a group of iguanas called?
This answer is similar to a name of a group of animals you mentioned earlier
Okay.
today. I don't know if you remember what you mentioned, but it's a
I
similar
think
theme.
so,
to
but I
word.
don't want to give it away. So,
Yeah. It's not the same word, but it's similarly themed. Okay, Caden thinks he has his first answer. Hey, Google, is the answer slaughter? There we go, our last thumbs up from Google. It's a slaughter. A slaughter of iguana,
Which is so strange. Like,
right?
you know, like a murder of crows, a slaughter of iguanas. Like, who comes up with this? I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. It would make more sense if it was piranha or something like
Yeah,
that. Like, I
yeah.
can see that being appropriate.
You
but-
don't hear of like iguanas slaughtering anything.
No, I certainly haven't.
They move too slow.
Exactly. All right, so that's it for the games. Thank you all for participating in this sound-based night. So I'm going to turn it over to Aaron for the devotions.
Yeah. So, and if you want to pull that PowerPoint up for me, I
Yes.
don't need it right away, but I will.
Okay, can I pull up the first slide already?
Yeah, for sure. All right, so tonight's devotional, I titled it, What is Normal and Should We Want It Back? So lately we've been hearing a lot of that, right? We've been hearing when this gets back to normal, when things get back to normal, or if we keep this going, everything's going to get back to normal. And in many cases, we all want normal to return. We all want to be able to visit our families. We all want to be able to visit our friends, go back to school, go back to work, right? And that's something I think we can all agree on. But I want to talk a little bit about our relationship with Jesus and our faith, and if we should want normal with that, if we want to just go back to the normal. And when we read in the New Testament, Jesus and his disciples didn't lead what most of us would call a normal life. They were traveling around, they were spreading the gospel, they were seeing and performing miracles. They were following Jesus as close as you possibly could. They were literally living with him, following him around. And this makes me wonder about my normal, right? Is it to this level, right? And do I want to cling to this goal of normal when I could have what these disciples were having, right? And I was thinking about it, and we were really given every opportunity that the disciples were given, right? They had these opportunities, and in the same way, we've been given Jesus' Holy Spirit. So they were able to follow Jesus very closely, and in that same way, we can have an extremely close relationship with Jesus because his Holy Spirit can live within us. And at the same time, too, there's people in the world that still have not heard the gospel and haven't had the opportunity to accept Jesus as their Savior. So in the same way the disciples were going around spreading the gospel, we have that opportunity to do that as well. And so my question then to this is, how do we do this? How do we change our normal to be like that normal, right? And if we look at John 15, 1-5, which is on your screen, it says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me, as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in me. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. So in John here, we learn a few things. One, God wants us to bear fruit. And this fruit is representative of being a productive and obedient Christian. And that's not all, though, that he wants us to learn from this. We also learn that to produce, we must be pruned by a gardener who is God. And we learn that we are only the branches. And there's a vine, and that vine is Jesus. So to change our normal and live the life that God has for us, we need to abide in him. Because without being connected to Jesus as the branch is to the vine, and without pruning that comes from God, we can't bear fruit and live our lives to the fullest extent that God has for us. So our next question then is, how do we do that? How do we stay connected with Jesus and be pruned by God? So let's look a little further down in that passage to John 15, 9-17. If you want to hit the next one for me. And that reads, as the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Now remain in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will remain in my love, as I have kept my Father's commands and remained in his love. I have told you this so that my joy may be yours, and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love knows no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend. You are my friends if you do what I command. If you want to hit the next one, we'll get the second half. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know what his master's business is. Instead, I call you friends. For everything I learned from my Father, I've made known to you. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit, fruit that will last, and so that whatever you ask in my name, the Father will give to you. This is my command: love each other. So, here we are told to love others as Jesus has loved us. It also tells us to keep his commands and remain in his love. And by this, he will then give us his joy, and our joy will also be made complete. So Jesus, he showed us this way, right? It wasn't something he just told us. He literally showed us this. He died on the cross for us. He loved us before we loved him, before we even knew him. He loved us, right? And he wants us to do the same for others. He wants us to love those who are not easy to love. He wants us to spread the gospel to whoever would hear it. And he wants us to reflect Jesus in our lives. So when people see us, they see Jesus reflected. And so my whole point in this is just in this time where people are craving normal, they want to go back to normal, they want it to be the way it was, to, in our own faith and our relationship with God, to not crave normal, but to crave going beyond that. And I can pretty confidently say that many of us, I know you guys and your relationship with God, that we're doing these things already, right? We have a good relationship with God, but to not let us get to that place where this can just become our new normal and we can be okay with the level we're at, but instead to take what God has for us, which is so much more than we have even now, and allow him to grow us and to prune us into being productive branches that bear much fruit. So that's it, guys. Pretty short and sweet today, but I hope you can take that and through your next weeks and months, and it's definitely something I'm trying to live by.
Do you want to close in prayer?
Yeah, for sure. All right. Lord, we thank you for this youth group. We thank you also for our youth leaders. And we just ask, Lord, that you would bless us all this week and that you would just be in our minds and be active in our lives, Lord, and that we would in turn be seeking you and new things that you have for us, Lord, new opportunities of people to share your gospel with, new people to be able to bless and to pray for and to lift up to you, Lord. And we just ask that you would keep us safe this week and just be watching over us. In your name, Jesus, amen.
Amen. All right. So, as we end off the broadcast here, there we go. Can't go down too low, otherwise they'll see how Google works. The inner workings of Google.
Yeah, you don't want to see Google's thumb.
No. Yeah. The part that was ripped off from the rest of the hands, it's pretty hideous.
It's gruesome, yeah. And actually it was done by a slaughter of iguanas. So.
Ooh, a slaughter. That's why they're called a slaughter. Yeah. Actually, in the chat, I see that Jessica mentioned that a group of pandas is called an enhancement. Which is very interesting. I'm assuming an animal lover picked that.
Yes, for sure.
Yes, they must have hated iguanas. Okay, so we're going to end off picking a video challenge. Now, hopefully all of you guys can participate this next week. Otherwise, whoever produces the most videos, I guess, gets the most points in the end of this.
Okay.
So is it your turn to pick? I'm trying to remember who picked the extraordinary pants.
I think I picked the extraordinary.
You did? Okay, so it's my turn to pick something. And the video challenge that I'm going to issue for this week is to make a really big version of something that is usually quite small.
Okay.
Yeah. So think about that. Make a actually, I have the word really in there twice. Let me read that again. Make a really, really big version of something that is usually quite small. So see what you guys can come up with, and we'll enjoy watching those at the beginning of next broadcast. But thank you all so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun to chat with you guys.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Take care.